Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. Good morning to all the students, and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 29th of December 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs. So watch this video till last. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But how we are covering this current affair? We are providing you daily section. In the daily, you will see three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. Again, you will receive three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Most important section is the monthly, and we are providing four type of PDFs. One is detail, second is question and answer format, third is best 100 current affair that is also provided in the form of question and answer, and fourth one is pocket PDF. It means 2-liners and the 3-liners current affair will be provided to you so that you can revise these current affairs in quick format before your exam. But to enhance your performance further, we are providing 20 most important topic wise PDF. It means if you want to cover one particular topic, then you can use this topic wise PDF. If you are a banking student, we are providing three things. One is detail, second is question and answer format, and third is the quiz section. But all these three things are only related to banking and economy. And you can attempt this quiz only on our application on monthly basis. If you want to cover all the past current affair of 2021 just from single PDF, then you can use this exam PDF. We are providing detailed budget and economic survey. Expected question and answer will be provided to you so that you can recall that examiner can make these type of questions from budget and economic survey. If you are appearing for your respective state exam, then we are also providing you state current affair, and we are covering every state and union territory. So all these things comes under only one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. After that, log in with the email ID. Then click on this Crack Current Affair section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2 years. Both the subscription prices are very much low. But if you are a new student, you are just starting your preparation, then I am advising you to subscribe for 2 years. And we are providing 10% extra discount on both subscriptions if you use this code ASH10. And if you have any query, you can email us or you can call us on this number or email ID. So let's start 29th of December 2021 current affair. But first of all, you have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you're new on this platform, and join a Telegram group from the description box link. And here is the first question in the most important section. Which state emerged as the best performer in the larger states under the State Health Index for 2019-20? So the most important keyword highlighted in blue, State Health Index for 2019-20. And this index is basically released by a very important organization which is Niti Aayog. And which state emerged as the best performer in the largest state categories, because there are total three categories. One is larger state, second is smaller state, and third is union territory. And Kerala topped under this index under the largest state category. So first rank goes to Kerala, second rank goes to Tamil Nadu, and third rank goes to Telangana. All are the South Indian states. And Uttar Pradesh is on the last. So you can also remember the Uttar Pradesh. So this is the fourth index which is released by Niti Aayog. And for the fourth consecutive time, Kerala emerged as the best performer in terms of the overall performance. And Uttar Pradesh ranked at the bottom on the 19th rank. You can also remember this. So you can see here, Niti Aayog released this fourth edition of State Health Index, which is released by Niti Aayog, but the technical assistance is provided by World Bank in the close consultation with the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It means three organizations, one is Niti Aayog, World Bank, and third is Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And this weighted composite index is premised upon the 24 indicators. These 24 indicators are basically grouped under domains of health outcome, governance and information, and key inputs and the processes. And the ranking is categorized as larger states, smaller states, and the union territories. I already covered this, but total larger states are 19, smaller states are 8, and total union territories which are covered 7. 7 union territories are covered. Why 7? Because data of Ladakh was not available as it was established as a UT on 31st of October 2019, and prior to which it was a part of Jammu and Kashmir state. And this report base year is from 2018-19 to 19-20. So that's why this Ladakh was not added under this, you can say UT's category. And you can also remember among the smaller states, Mizoram topped under this index. Mizoram topped under this index, and In the UT's category, Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu Union Territory topped under this index. So you can remember all these indexes because these are very, very important. In the smallest state, Mizoram. In the UT's, Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. In the largest state is Kerala, who topped under this index. And very important information because this is health index, but you can remember of this index has not captured the impact of COVID-19 because the time period for this assessment is earlier to the pandemic, because the time period is 2019, 1819 to 1920. That's why the edition not captured the impact of COVID-19. So that's why it is very, very important. So it is Kerala, and all these things are covered before COVID-19. Moving to next question. Who is appointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Punjab National Bank? Again, this is the most important question because we are talking about very important bank, Punjab National Bank. And Atul Kumar Goyal, answer of this question is D. Atul Kumar Goyal was appointed as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Punjab National Bank. Earlier, this position was with Mallikarjun Rao. So, former was Mallikarjun Rao, but you can say Mallikarjun Rao time period will over on 31st of Jan 2022. So after that, Atul Kumar Goyal will be MD and CEO of Punjab National Bank. And Atul Kumar Goyal will serve as the Punjab National Bank chief until the 31st of December 2024. 2024, it means he is appointed approximately for the time period of 3 years. And prior to this appointment, Atul Kumar Goyal served as the Managing Director and CEO of very important bank which is known as UCO Bank. So now it means UCO Bank position was vacant, so it was also filled. And who become the new Managing Director and CEO of UCO Bank? It become Soma Shankar Prasad. Remember, new Managing Director and CEO of UCO Bank is Soma Shankar Prasad, and new Managing Director and CEO of Punjab National Bank is Atul Kumar Goyal. So both the questions are very, very important. And you can also remember Rajiv Ahuja. Very important name. Yesterday we discussed about this, and Rajiv Ahuja recently appointed as temporary or the interim MD and CEO of very famous bank RBL Bank. So I am repeating again, Mallikarjun Rao was the former Managing Director and CEO of Punjab National Bank, or he will serve as the MD and CEO till the 31st of Jan 2022. Rajiv Ahuja recently appointed as MD and CEO of RBL Bank. Soma Shankar Prasad, MD and CEO of UCO Bank. And Atul Kumar Goyal appointed as MD and CEO of Punjab National Bank. So all the appointments are very, very important. But you can also remember about Punjab National Bank here. Punjab National Bank was established in 1895. And who was the founder of Punjab National Bank? It is Dayal Singh Majithia. Dayal Singh Majitha or Dayal Singh Majithia. So you can remember he was the first chairman also. And Punjab National Bank headquarters is in New Delhi. Already MD and CEO, we told you that it is Atul Kumar Goyal. You can also see here the picture of Atul Kumar Goyal, MD and CEO of Punjab National Bank. Move to next question. Who has won the SAFF Under 19 Women's Football Championship 2021? Very important question. We are talking about a very important organization here, which is South Asian Football Federation. South Asian Football Federation Under 19 Women Football Championship. First of all, you have to remember this is hosted by Bangladesh. So this tournament is hosted by Bangladesh. And which team won? Bangladesh won this tournament. So remember, answer of this question is C. So Bangladesh Under 19 Women Football team won the South Asian Football Federation Under 19 Women Football Championship, and this team defeated Indian team. So this is very important. Examiner can ask the defeating team also. So runner-up team is India. So you can see here. This is South Asian Football Federation Under 19 Women Football Championship hosted by which country? It is hosted by Bangladesh. And you can also remember one name. It is Shahada Akhtar Ripa of Bangladesh, who secured the highest number of goals, total goals 5, was honored with the Most Valuable Player of the Game award. Just read this line. Most Valuable Player of the Game award goes to Shahada Akhtar Ripa. And the Nepal national team were awarded with the Fair Play Award. And this Under 19 Women national team of India, especially Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Bhutan and Nepal participated in this championship. It means total 5 teams participated under this championship. But Pakistan already basically you can say did not participate in the championship since the Pakistan Football Federation was suspended by Federation International the Football Association in April 2021. That's why Pakistan not participated under this tournament, and Maldives withdrew from the tournament. So Maldives not participated, Pakistan not participated, only 5 teams are there. One is India, second is Sri Lanka, Bhutan, you can say Bangladesh and Nepal. So these 5 teams participated under this tournament. So you can also remember about this organization SAFF, which is known as South Asian Football Federation. Its headquarters is in Dhaka in Bangladesh. So it is hosted by Bangladesh, it won by Bangladesh, and its headquarters is also in Bangladesh. So all the things are in Bangladesh. And it was formed in 1997. Its president is Qazi Mohammed Salaluddin. And he also belongs to Bangladesh. So you can remember these things. These are very, very important because it is under 19 Women's Football Championship and it is organized by South Asian Football Federation. Moving to next question. So it is a very important question section. Now we are moving to the first question. But first of all, you have to like this video. You have to share this video as maximum as possible. And you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. And join a Telegram group from the description box link. But before proceeding, I just want to discuss about our PO mains course, which is free of cost, and what we are providing under this course. I will just take 40 to 45 seconds of yours so that you can understand what we are providing under this course. As you all know that we have started 25 days free course to crack IBPS PO mains examination, and this course was started on 13th of December and it will end on 14th of January. It means almost for 1 month we have started this course. And remember, this course frequency is from Monday to Friday. We will not upload any quiz on Saturday and Sunday. And in the quiz, we will upload 70 questions daily. Out of 70, 20 questions will be related to reasoning and 20 questions related to quant, or you can say mathematics, and 30 questions related to general awareness or current and banking awareness. You can see these are the quiz. And course could be attempted at any time. No daily limit is there, but course will be attempted only through application, that is Careers Cloud application. For more details, you can download this application from the description box. Now moving to very important question section. So here's the first question in the very important section. Which state government partnered with the National Payment Corporation of India and State Bank of India to implement e-rupee system for payment of scholarship? Recently, Government of India, or you can say Reserve Bank of India, started e-rupee system for the MGNREGA workers or Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act workers. Especially SBI implemented this e-rupee system. Now, one state government also partnered with the National Payment Corporation of India and State Bank of India to implement this e-rupee for the payment of scholarship, and this state government is Karnataka. So answer of this question is C. So you can remember, very important thing, the Karnataka government has partnered with the National Payment Corporation of India and SBI. And this e-rupee is a cashless and contactless payment solution provided by National Payment Corporation of India, and it will be used to ensure leak-proof delivery transactions. And you can also see here, and you can also remember this, for redeeming e-UP, the identified institutes will scan the QR code or SMS string displayed by the student using an application. And this SMS string or the QR code will be sent through the NPCI or through the Karnataka government. And this e-vouchers will be delivered by the government to the mobiles of the eligible students. After that, the students can approach to the institutes and institute can scan this QR code and SMS string so that students can get the scholarship. The students will able to redeem this e-UPI at the identified colleges or the institute for the intended purpose of the fees payment. And each transaction will be mapped with the beneficiary and the institution, ensuring that the e-voucher can be redeemed by the college where the student has enrolled. So very important thing which is started by Karnataka, but you can also remember about NPCI. It was established in the year of 2008 and its MD and CEO is Dilip Asbe. Its headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. So moving to next question, but you can also remember about the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Chief Minister is Basavaraj Bommai and Governor is Thawarchand Gehlot. Next is, which country introduced world's first dual mode vehicle that can run on roads and tracks? Very interesting question and very interesting fact that this is the world's first dual modal vehicle that can run on roads as well as on tracks. And this country is Japan. So answer of this question is D, and Japan is known for its technology. So Japan has introduced a minibus look-alike world's first dual mode vehicle in its town of Kyoto. So the very you can say small town, and under this town Japan started this world first dual model vehicle that can run on roads as well as on track. So you can see here this is the railway steel tires, or this is, you can say, rubber tires. So the vehicle can run on the normal rubber tires on the road, but it also has steel wheels which are, you can say, in its underbelly descend when it hits the rail tracks. And the feature of effectively changing into the train-like module easily on a rail track is the first of its kind in any country, and it runs on the diesel. And this dual model vehicle can carry up to 21 passengers because it is a bus like you can say vehicle. Total can carry 21 passengers and run at a speed of 60 kilometer per hour on rail tracks and can go fast as around 100 kilometer per hour on public roads. So when this bus is traveling on the railway track, then total speed can be the 60 kilometer, otherwise it can be the 100 kilometer on the public roads. So it will be beneficial for small towns like KO, where local transport companies would not be able to make a profit, or it can be very beneficial for the small towns in India as well. So remember, this technology is basically initiated by Japan. Very simple question, very interesting question. I think you can remember for long time period. Next question is, which state has secured first place in implementing the Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Rural Urban Mission or Urban Mission? So first of all, you have to remember this Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Rural Urban Mission or Urban Mission. So this mission was started in the year of 2016, and the name is Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Urban Mission, and it was launched by the Ministry of Rural Development, and its main aim to develop the rural areas by providing them with economic, social and physical infrastructure facilities, especially to convert rural to the urban area. That's why it is known as Rural Urban or Urban Mission. And this Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Urban Mission is developing 300 urban clusters identified in the rural India, covering 34 states and the union territories, with the objective of bridging the rural-urban divide. And which state has secured the first place in implementing this scheme? And this is Telangana. So answer of this question is C. So Telangana has secured the first place among the 34 states and the union territories to, you can say, implement this Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Urban Mission. And you can also see here Telangana tops in the implementation of Urban Mission, and Tamil Nadu and Gujarat has secured the second and the third place on the list respectively. So second rank goes to Tamil Nadu, third rank goes to Gujarat. You can also see here the list according to state wise, but this is also the list on cluster wise. So in the ranking of the cluster, among the 295 clusters, total 295 clusters, the Rayakal cluster of you can say Sangareddy in Telangana and Zukal cluster in the Kamareddy in Telangana got first and the second place respectively. So both the clusters belongs to Telangana. Again, this is very, very important. So just remember, the first state is Telangana, who secured the rank to implementing this Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Rural Urban or Urban Mission. And you can also remember, because this is a scheme of Ministry of Rural Development. So who is the Union Minister? Union Minister is Giriraj Singh. Giriraj Singh. And Giriraj Singh constituency is Begusarai. Begusarai is in Bihar. Moving to next question. Which state launched a health service management center for monitoring various health schemes, especially the state and the center government schemes? And this state is Gujarat. So answer of this question is B. So Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupender Patel recently launched a health service management center for monitoring various national as well as state health schemes. And it is just to monitor the benefits received under various government schemes, such as like Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana, under which 5 lakh rupees provided to one family per year, and Mukhyamantri Amrutam scheme, which is started by the state government, and also the nutrition related schemes, maternal and child health schemes, and various schemes, and all the schemes can be monitored through this health service management center. So you can also see here Bhupender Patel ji launched a portal to monitor benefits of state health schemes. And this portal monitors the free diagnostic treatment given to the patients, such as screening for the non-communicable diseases, which has recently started by the Gujarat government. And it also tracks the number of beneficiaries enrolled under these schemes. But Chief Minister also launched the website of the Gujarat Epidemic Response Management Information System in the Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Again, this is very important because this is also a portal under this health portal, and it is a control and command center designed to monitor the daily availability of hospital beds, ventilators, oxygen beds in the state public and the private COVID hospitals, and also make the information available to public, so that public can also be aware about how much ventilators are left, how much oxygen beds are there, and we can tackle the COVID-19, especially new Omicron virus. We can tackle this very effectively, especially in the state of Gujarat. So remember, this is the state of Gujarat, and who is the Chief Minister? Bhupender Patel, and Governor is Acharya Devrat. Acharya Devrat. Moving to next question. Which bank launched green fixed deposit to support United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which was started in the year of 2015 and we have to achieve by the year of 2030, and total goals are 17. And green fixed deposit, it is like fixed deposit, but when we purchase this fixed deposit, then the amount will be given to the bank and we can get the, you can say, one agreement by the bank. This fund can be used by the banks to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which are 17 goals. And this bank is IndusInd Bank. So answer of this question is B. So remember, IndusInd Bank launched green fixed deposits, and this fund will be used to finance projects and firms supporting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And you can remember, with this, the bank has entered the list of a few global banks which offer integrating sustainable development goals into a regular, you can say, fixed deposit product. And these FDs will be offered to both retail and corporate customers. So remember, it is green fixed deposit. And the sectors under the sustainable development goal category includes energy efficiency, renewable energy, especially solar and wind, green transport, and you can say it is hydrogen fuel, electric vehicles, sustainable food, agriculture, forestry, waste management, and greenhouse gas reduction. But for the senior citizen, to attract the senior citizen, the interest on green deposits will attract an additional benefit of 50 basis point. It means 0.5% will get more if you are a senior citizen. Other benefits are like higher rate of interest, like 6% per annum will be provided under this fixed deposit, and deposits backed by insurance of up to 5 lakh rupees, low premature withdrawal charges of only 1%. So these are the benefits which are given under this fixed deposit, which is known as green fixed deposit. But the fund will be utilized to achieve the sustainable development goals. So this is IndusInd Bank. And IndusInd Bank tagline is, we make you feel richer. We make you feel richer. And headquarters is in Mumbai, and its managing director and CEO is Sumant Katpalia. Sumant Katpalia. Moving to next question. Which state launched the Kaushal Rojgar Nigam portal? Kaushal Rojgar Nigam portal. And this state government is Haryana. Answer of this question is A. So you can also see here, Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar ji launched Haryana Kaushal Rojgar Nigam portal. And you can also remember that he also launched a magazine which is known as Vyavastha Parivartan Se Sushashan and 2022 official calendar. Not important, especially for the Haryana students, you can just read this line, because this event was organized on the occasion of Good Governance Day, the birth anniversary of Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji and Madan Mohan Malviya. And 25th of December is every year celebrated as Good Governance Day. First time it was celebrated in the year of 2014, and in 2021 we are celebrating 8th Good Governance Day. And Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar ji also inaugurated to set up a Atal Park and Samriti Kendra in Gurugram, Haryana. This you have to remember, especially the Haryana students, you have to remember Atal Park set up under the Gurugram district of Haryana. So Haryana Kaushal Rojgar Nigam portal, so that employment can be generated and we can basically monitor how much people gets the employment and how much are unemployed. So this is the portal which is launched by Haryana government. And remember, Chief Minister is Manohar Lal Khattar ji, and Governor is Bandaru Dattatreya, who was earlier the Governor of Himachal Pradesh, but now he is currently the Governor of Haryana, Bandaru Dattatreya ji. Moving to next question, which bank has signed a co-lending partnership with MAS Financial Services to offer loans to the MSME borrowers? So according to the RBI guidelines, if NBFC or banks are basically comes under the co-lending partnership, then NBFCs have to lend minimum to minimum 20% and banks have to lend maximum to maximum 80%. So this is the condition, or this is the guidelines of the RBI. And this is Bank of Maharashtra, who tied up with who signed a co-lending partnership with the MAS Financial Services to offer loans to the micro, small and medium enterprises borrowers. And this partnership is subject to compliance laws, including applicable guidelines like 80%, 20% guidelines issued by the Reserve Bank of India. So MAS Financial Service will originate and process loans to MSME borrowers under the priority sector as per the jointly formulated credit parameters and eligibility criteria. But the generated loans will be provided by Bank of Maharashtra. and Bank of Maharashtra will take on its books these loans under the mutually agreed terms like 80% and 20%. But you can also remember about Bank of Maharashtra here. Bank of Maharashtra MD and CEO is A.S. Rajiv. A.S. Rajiv. And its head office is in Pune, Maharashtra. And its tagline is Ek Parivar, Ek Bank. Ek Parivar, Ek Bank. It means like one family, one bank. Next question. Which bank partnered with Bajaj Finance for the extension of partnership of co-branded credit cards for 5 years? It means these co-branded credit cards will be powered by this bank, but it is for the Bajaj Finance customer. And this bank is RBL Bank. Again, very important bank. Yesterday we discussed one question that new managing director and CEO will be Rajiv Ahuja. Rajiv Ahuja. Earlier it was Vishavir Ahuja, but due to medical conditions, Rajiv Ahuja become the temporary or the interim managing director and CEO of this bank. So RBL Bank partnered with the Bajaj Finance for the extension of his partnership of co-branded credit card, and it is for 5 years. It means till the December 2026. So the bank had entered into a partnership with Bajaj Finance in 2018 and launching a series of co-branded credit cards for the Bajaj Finance. So just remember. And recently, RBI has also appointed Rajiv Ahuja as the, you can say, MD and CEO of the RBL Bank. So already we covered this point so many times. So just remember RBL Bank and Bajaj Finance. But you can also remember about RBL Bank that it was established in the year of 1943 under the Companies Act of, you can say 1913. After that, it was registered in the Companies Act of 1956. CEO and MD Rajiv Ahuja, headquarters is in Mumbai, and tagline is Apno Ka Bank. Apno Ka Bank. This is the tagline of RBL Bank. Next question is, which state launched the Mendam Manjapi campaign against single-use plastic bag? So I think my pronunciation can be wrong, but it is a South Indian name, but you have to remember it is, I think, Mindum Manjapai campaign, and it is against a single-use plastic bag, and this is started by M.K. Stalin, who is currently the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. So M.K. Stalin, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, launched a campaign against a single-use plastic bag at Chennai, Tamil Nadu. So the scheme aims to produce the use of cloth bags by the public and to reduce the use of single-use plastic which affects the environment. Because in 2019, Tamil government has already banned the production, use, storage, distribution and transportation of 14 types of plastics. And the campaign of the department, campaign is basically started by the Department of Environment, Climate Change, Forest and the government of Tamil Nadu. Just remember, it is state of Tamil Nadu and Chief Minister is M.K. Stalin. And you can also remember the governor R.N. Ravi, who was earlier the governor of which state? Who was earlier the governor of Nagaland. But now Nagaland governor additional charge given to Jagdish Mukhi. Next question is from picture. It is Padam Bhushan Anil Prakash Joshi awarded with the Mother Teresa Memorial Award for Social Justice 2021. So there is one organization which is known as Harmony, Foundation, and this foundation hosted the 17th annual Mother Teresa Memorial Awards, and it is given for the social justice, and it is given for the year of 2021 and facilitated the winners. But you have to remember there are so many winners, you can't remember all the names, but I am just reading for you. One is Dr. Anil Prakash Joshi, very famous environmentalist, also won the Padam Bhushan in 2021. That's why only this name is very important for you. Anil Prakash Joshi, who won the Padam Bhushan in 2021, also won this Mother Teresa Award. And he was awarded for his efforts as a change maker in the environmental sustainability sector by impacting over than 10,000 villages in the Himalayan region through the Himalayan Environmental Studies and the Conservation Organization. Second winner is Vidut Mohan, the winner of the Earth Short Prize, also won this award, and he was awarded for his efforts in combating air pollution through the social enterprises which is known as Takachar. He was recently awarded as Earth Short Prize, and he was awarded for his efforts in combating the air pollution. Next is Ridhima Pandey, a young environmentalist activist from the Uttarakhand state, and she was awarded for her involvement in the national participation to stop the climate change. And next is Tulsi Goda, a Padam Shri awardee, and she was awarded for the conservation of trees and her traditional knowledge of the same. Next is Adya Joshi, a recipient of the Children Climate Prize 2020, again very important name, And this Adya Joshi is the founder of the Right Green Initiative, an initiative that spreads awareness by educating children and municipal authorities about using native plants to create biodiversity-rich ecosystem in the urban environment. Next one organization which is known as Pani Foundation, or you can say Water Foundation, and this organization was awarded for its mission to create a drought-free Maharashtra. Drought-free Maharashtra. Next is Subhajit Mukherjee. He was awarded for his efforts to amplify the green cover in and around Mumbai and rainwater harvesting initiative. And there are more organization and there are more recipients, but you don't have to remember. I am just highlighting the names you can remember. One is first, which is Anil Prakash Joshi, first name. Second, you have to remember about Vidut Mohan. These two names you have to remember. And third, you can remember about Pani Foundation. And especially it is to prove that we can make Maharashtra as a drought-free state. So this is Pani Foundation. So moving to the next, and again this question is not so much important, just read this picture. And it is Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri ji and Dr. Jitendra Singh attended the first ever Jammu and Kashmir Real Estate Summit. And the caption of this Real Estate Summit is Unlocking Opportunities. So the government of Jammu and Kashmir hosted the first ever Jammu and Kashmir Real Estate Summit, which captioned as 2021 Unlocking Opportunities at the Convention Center in the Jammu and Kashmir. And it is attended by two union ministers. One is Hardeep Singh Puri, second is Dr. Jitendra Singh. And the summit is in line with the efforts to connect Jammu and Kashmir to mainstream India. And you can also remember the main objective is also to provide an effective platform to showcase potential of real estate investment opportunities and intensive discussion on the policy and the regulatory framework. That's why it is very important. And the government of Jammu and Kashmir has signed total 39 MOUs, 39 Memorandum of Understanding worth rupees 18,000 crore, almost 18,000 crore with the real estate organizations and a major fast food chain during the first ever real estate summit held in Jammu and Kashmir. And remember Hardeep Singh Puri, who is the Union Minister of Housing and Urban Affairs, and he's currently the Union Minister from the Rajya Sabha, and his constituency is Uttar Pradesh. Moving to next question. You can also see here Hardeep Singh Puri, and this is Dr. Jitendra Singh. Moving to important question section, but first of all, you have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform, and join a Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament Mahendra Prasad passed away. So you can just see the picture. Mahendra Prasad, who was basically Member of Parliament in Rajya Sabha, from which state? From Bihar. And he passed away at the age of 81 years after suffering from prolonged illness. And currently he presents Janata Dal United, it means Nitish Party of Bihar in the Rajya Sabha. And his name was often prefixed with the name of King. Why he was prefixed as a king? Because he remained in the Rajya Sabha continuously since 1985. This is a very huge thing, that he served almost 37 years or 35 years basically in the Rajya Sabha. And he served a 7th term of the Rajya Sabha as a member of parliament from Bihar, and was also elected to the Lok Sabha once. So just remember, he belongs to Janata Dal United Party, and he was currently the member of Rajya Sabha, and he was member from Bihar. Moving to one-liner important points, and here is first point. Japan introduces world's first dual mode vehicle that can run on the roads and tracks. We already covered this question. Prime Minister Modi ji inaugurated and laid foundation stone of rupees 11,000 crore worth hydropower projects in the Mandi, Himachal Pradesh. And this hydro project will assist Himachal Pradesh to improve its economy and provide additional power to the state. Not important, just read this line, especially for Himachal Pradesh students. Next, wholesale price inflation spikes to 12-year high of 14.23% in November 2021. Earlier in October 2021, it was 12.54%. Now it is 14.23%. And this wholesale price inflation is dominated by the prices of mineral oils, you can say, basic metals, crude petroleum, natural gas, chemicals, and the food products. Next, Gujarat launched portal to monitor benefits of the state health schemes as well as the center health schemes, already covered. Telangana tops in the implementation of Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Urban Mission, already covered. IndusInd Bank launched the green fixed deposit bonds to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 17 goals. Already covered these points. Just 2 or 3 points. One is this: Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone of 11,000 crore hydropower projects in Mandi. Second is wholesale price. This is new under this one-liner important points. Now we are moving to the question of 28th of December 2021. It is NABARD came into existence on. Every student knows the year, like it was established in the year of 1982 by the Indira Gandhi led government, and the exact date is basically 12th of July 1982. 12th of July 1982. So National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, it is a apex regulatory body for overall regulation of the regional rural banks and the apex cooperative banks in India, and it is under the jurisdiction of Ministry of Finance under the Government of India. And remember, it was established on 12th of July 1982 to implement the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development Act, which was established in the year of 1981. And NABARD headquarters is in Mumbai, and its currently chairman is Govind Rajulu Chintala or GR Chintala. Just remember. Moving to the question of the day, again it is related to NABARD. NABARD was established on the recommendation of which committee? So very simple question, static question. You have to just answer me only in the comment box. I am waiting your answer. Please like this video. Please share this video as maximum as possible, and please subscribe this channel if you are new on this platform. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. And join a Telegram group from the description box and press this bell button so that you can receive the notification on time. Don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy like this smiley. Thank you guys. Take care and bye-bye.